What's up, y'all? It's your boy Charles checking in. Hope you guys having a good day. I know I'm doing a good having a good day today. I got getting all tongue tied. Anyway, y'all know I love Quentin. Y'all know I love movies. I love movies, and movies. I always thought it was just me, but I guess it's not just me because one of my favorite directors, Quentin Tarantino, just came out doing a podcast interview recently, and he said that movies are awful nowadays. And I thought it was just me. I said maybe it's because I'm an older guy. Maybe I just don't, I'm 40. Well, I'll be 47 this year. 47 years old. So I'm not that old, but I'm old. So I figured maybe I just don't get, today's artistry as far as movies. Maybe I'm more of a 90s, early 2000s, 80s movies guy. But I've been hearing from a lot of young people, and I read some of the comments under the podcast channel. I forgot the podcast, forgive me. But Quentin was on the podcast and he said that movies aren't as good as they used to be. He's like, we're in the worst time right now for movies. So I was like, yes, Quentin said it. And so that means that it's not just me then. It's movies are horrible now. I think and here's my opinion, what I think is going on. I think what it is, people don't want to lose their jobs. These executives at these studios and stuff like that, they just trying to they're getting these positions and they have to make these studios profitable. And their whole concern is not doing anything out the box or doing anything different. Their whole thing is, I got to keep this job. I want to keep this salary coming in. So let me just go do a remake, or let's just do another umpteenth Marvel movie, or do another Fast and the Furious 1900. You know what I'm saying? They'll just keep putting out sequels of stuff that's already worked, or they'll go back and get some shit from the 80s and the 90s and then remake it, or they'll just keep plugging away, throwing out Marvel shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to keep their job. They have to make profit for these studios and their investors and these executives at these studios. So, and then once they don't, the thing about it is, these studios are so greedy and they're so in competition to make a profit and stay in business that they're not realizing that executive that has the balls to go out there and find something different and new and fresh, and that shit blows up. You know what I'm saying? Then you got another franchise to add on if you would like for instance, Sinners. Now, although Ryan Coogler, being that he maintains ownership in 25 years of Sinner, I don't think you can make a sequel. But from what I heard, I think Warner Brothers owns Sinners. Warner Brothers has Sinners for 25 years. So if they want to decide to add another Sinners, they can, because they own it for 25 years. And then after 25 years, then Ryan Coogler will retain ownership. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not or whatever. I think that's the deal. But so therefore they could make another Sinners if they want, But Warner Brothers took a chance on something that it was new. Sinners was a fresh intellectual property. So it's brand new. They took a chance on giving him that money and that budget and seeing if that movie was going to work, and they actually won. Warner Brothers, or was it Universal? I forgot. I think it might have been Universal Pictures behind it. But anyway, whatever big studio that backed them, that was a big budget. That was a studio movie. They took a chance and they won. You know what I'm saying? Now, did they really take a chance? Not really, because they had a director who had already broke $1 billion with Black Panther. So they had an experienced director who has broke records with Creed twice, with Creed, which is his movie, which I think that might be part of him as Sylvester Stallone, being that Creed was developed by Sylvester Stallone. So they took a chance on Creed, and that worked out. Creed became a success. 1, 2. I don't know if 3 did successful or not, but pretty much 1 and 2 did really good. And they took a chance on Black Panther, but it was a Marvel movie, so I guess, but that could have flopped too. It might not been. But how often does a Marvel movie flop though? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if I've ever seen a Marvel movie actually flop. They usually do pretty good. You know what I'm saying? But I do agree with Quentin Tarantino as far as like every other. I remember there's nothing that has been out that got me excited to go to the movies no more. To the point where I start to be like, I don't know if I really want to do this shit anymore, because ain't no fun. Like, it's nothing that's motivating me to want to get into the game. You know, I felt like in the early 2000s, late 90s and stuff like that, it felt like every other week there was a new movie coming out that you want to go see. Like, damn, that's coming out. Oh shit, that's coming. And the movie theaters used to be packed. Not just on the weekends, it would be packed on a Thursday night. You would go, and if it was a movie that people really wanted to go see, it'd be a Thursday night and it'd be packed. Now, I think Sinners kind of brought that back. People want to go to the movies to see some good shit, but you got to give them something that they want to leave their house to go see. Especially nowadays, where it's these movies stay in the theater for how long? If they don't make a nice significant dollar within a certain amount of time, they put that shit right to direct to video now, ever since the pandemic. So, but Sinners showed that people still want to go to the movies and get popcorn, but you know, being that movies are so expensive now, being that, you know, you can leave a movie theater and spend about $100, you got to make, and then turn around and then that same movie that I'm spending $100 for in 3 weeks to a month is going to be on demand for $20 on Amazon. I can just stream it. You know what I'm saying? So you really got to have something that people are curious. Like, I can't wait. I got to go see this. Sinners had that, oh, this seemed pretty cool. Vampires and black people in the South. Like, oh shit. Like, nobody's ever done that before. You know what I'm saying? Let's see how, I want to see that. It's different. It's different. And I think that's one of the reasons why the movie industry is failing. People, these remakes, people that say it's a remake, or I just wait till it come out on stream. You know, or it's a Marvel movie. Oh, another one. You know what I'm saying? I'll wait till that come out on stream. Fast and Furious 75. Oh, fuck. I'll wait to see that. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing, you know, we done seen, you're not introducing no new characters, you know, and none that anybody really gives a fuck about. You know, I noticed that the Fast and the Furious franchise, they tend to want to introduce some big name every other year. They put Viola Davis, next year to be The Rock, and you know, they keep throwing in these big names, and it takes away from the authenticity of that particular film, because the first Fast and the Furious, if you can remember, I don't even think Vin Diesel was well known then. When the first one came out, Paul Walker, he wasn't known. Only people that were known really in that movie was Ja Rule. People forget Ja Rule was in that movie. He had a small cameo, but most of that movie had pretty much no name actors that I can think of. You know, Georgiana Brewster, who plays Mia, his sister, I don't think she was well known. Tyrese, of course, was in the second one, but he was known for music. But as far as acting, we didn't know him. Had he did Baby, he hadn't even did Baby Boy yet. He did. That was his first film, Fast and the Furious, playing Roman. You know, but all I'm trying to say is, man, I agree with Quentin, man. The movie industry sucks. Ain't nothing out that nobody really wants to go see. You know, but Sinners made me realize that no, people want to see good movies. People want to go to the movies, but you got to give them something different. And I think a lot of these studio execs are scared. They don't have the balls. And I think what it is, a lot of these studios ain't giving these executives any leeway to take a chance. Because as soon as if they take a chance on something and it flops, they fire. Versus back in the day, I think what it was, a lot of these studio execs would take a chance on something. If it didn't work out, okay, we'll get them next time. They might give you two or three chances, but after that, okay, man, you done had 3 flops. We gotta let you go. We losing money. These studios now, I don't think, maybe they don't have the luxury to do that, to where if you have a flop and it doesn't work out, boom, you gone. But it's like, how can you get it right? And what do you expect people to do if they're not willing to take a chance? You know. I think the way the movie industry could come back, it has to be independently. It has to be independently. Somebody out here has to go get an iPhone, a couple of iPhones. Somebody out there has to write a really, really, really good script. Somebody out there had to get their friends together, or go look for local actors, and they would have to shoot some shit themselves and market it themselves, which is easy to do with these damn phones, social media. It's not like back in the day when you had to go out and get the DVDs made, and you had to go out and get a DVD cover made, and you can do all that shit right through the internet now. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's what it's going to take to get the movie. It's going to take people that's outside of the studio system that ain't got nothing to lose, that don't mind to, put something out there that's different, that don't have no studio executive behind them, scared they're going to lose their job. You have to take somebody, do it independently, take that film, and then market yourself, and then let it blow up, and then Hollywood will come to you. And then once they come to you, you gotta tell them, they have to be like, hey man, if I'm gonna do this and y'all can give me this budget, I gotta do it my way. If not, bye. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have leverage. And then if that particular, because when Hollywood come, you got leverage. If they call you, you got leverage. If you running behind Hollywood, you don't have no leverage. They can get the fuck what they want because you need them. But when they come back, when they come behind you, that's why Tyler Perry has so much leverage and ownership, because he had something that was making money that they didn't know about, that was different, and he owned it. So now when they come to you, okay, well, y'all want to play ball, y'all got to give me this and this, give me that. I got to have ownership. I got to have, this and that and third. And then if they say no, okay, bye. Okay, Tyler Perry was selling DVDs right from his website, living in the mansion. You know what I'm saying? From off his plays and his DVDs, he was selling. He had his own production company, shooting the DVDs, and then getting the DVDs made. This is back when DVDs was hot, and then getting them out to the public, selling them off his site. He was making money the grassroots way. You know what I'm saying? Like straight out the trunk, but off his website. The man had a Bentley and a Phantom and a mansion before he even did his first film. So he had leverage. So if the studio said no to his deal, okay, fuck it, I go back to selling my shit out the trunk. I'm living in the mansion already. He wasn't starving. He wasn't desperate. He was making his own money. And I think that's what it's going to take for studios to take a chance on something different. It'll have to be from the independent filmmakers grassroots, from the bottom. Somebody innovative to take, get with a group of people and shoot something dope. And then the shit take off, cause all kind of waves. Almost like the Blair Witch, but it had to be with a good film. The Blair Witch was a Hulk film. That was a Hulk film that ended up making millions. But they were independent film makers nevertheless. You know what I'm saying? So they was able to have leverage because, hey, look, we done made millions. So if y'all come with a deal, y'all got to come with something correct where we got to have ownership, we got to have this and that and third. If not, cool, we'll do all the film independent again and we'll get all the money again. No, that's when they come with some, oh, no, we want to work with you guys. We want to, because they want to get some of that paper you getting ready to bring in. That's why they want to work with you. You finna bring in some paper, But yeah, I was just thinking about what Quentin was saying, man. Movies are horrible. Like I said, it was refreshing. Now, like I said, every once in a while, a movie will come out that you kind of want to go, like, I kind of want to see that. Like, for instance, 28 Days Later, I had to go see that because the first one, which came out 20 years ago, back when movies were good, by Danny Boyle. I'm a big fan of the British zombie flick, 28 Days Later, 28 weeks later, and then 28 years later. And plus, Danny Boyle, who did the first one, came back and did the third one. He didn't do the second one, which the second one was actually better than the first one, I thought. Even though I would say that the first one was shot more cool. It was, Danny Boyle is a very stylistic director. So the first one was very like futuristic looking. It was like apocalypse looking. He shot it on an XL DV camera. So it had this weird feel about it. And then the third one he did, it actually had that, he shot it with iPhone. And it actually has a certain type of feel about it, the way he shot it. Danny Boyle was a very creative director. He's very stylish when he directs something. You know what I'm saying? That's why I had to see the third one in the theaters. But other than that movie and Sinners, there's nothing really out that I really want to go run out and go see. I kind of want to see that movie Him, that's produced by Jordan Peele with Marlon Wayans. I kind of want to see that, but I feel like it's going to be one of those psychological horror thrillers, which are pretty much some of those movies are horrible, dude. It's a lot of scare jumps and a lot of loud noise and nothing really scary. It's a lot of confusing and stupid shit. I don't like those movies, man. I kind of feel like Him is going to be that, but I want to support it because it's black produced by Jordan Peele, and it has I'm a fan of Marlon Wayans, so, and he's doing like a serious role, I guess, a serious part in this film. He's playing like a getting ready to retire football star that's kind of like, I guess, trying to coach this young youth that's coming into the league. But yeah, man, that's all I wanted to talk about, man. I agree with Quentin. I just hope movies eventually become good again. Make movies good again. I'm hoping that one day movies actually become good, you know. But like I said, it's going to have to be from the. I don't think it's going to be from these studios. If they losing money, they too scary. They too scared to take a chance on somebody. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. What y'all think, man? Let's talk about it in the comments. Hit the thumbs up button.